Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary Jane and I do a lot of things, but right now I'm primarily a fine dining server. So basically what I do in this space is to create content and tools for budgeters and cash stuffers to help them hit their money goals. How is everybody doing today? I have $940 from the week. I did actually have to do a couple of things and pay for a couple of things already. So this is what I have left, and I may not necessarily go over every single bill I have, but let's get to it. So I am doing a little bit aside for my mortgage today, so I'm going to do $200 for that, and I have that in the white binder. Putting that aside. Nothing else in there at the moment. Boom. Also have car insurance. So I'm doing, let's see, let me do 50s there. I'm doing $275. 1, 2, 50, 60, 75 for my car insurance. I also have nothing in there as well. I don't keep a lot of money on hand in my house. I do set it aside into another account, especially when I'm doing like 2 months ahead, just for safety reasons. All right, so my very important binder is done. Up next, I have my lot rent. That's under my monthly recurring. Let's take a look. So my lot rent is $200. And what is lot rent? So I have a trailer. Her name is Myrtle. She's a 1974 travel trailer, a Prowler, and she's currently in New Mexico. It's kind of a long story. I was gonna purchase a lot, but it wasn't the people were lovely, but the people who ran it were not. And it wasn't what they advertised it to be. So I was forced out. I wouldn't even say I left. I literally was forced out with like 5 days notice after having her there for a year. And so now she's actually on a private ranch, and I'm paying for her to stay there until I can afford to bring her up here, where I will make her a seasonal Airbnb. I lived in her for a while. Like, living in tiny living is what got me into my house. So I love her dearly. She's incredibly important to me. I can't wait to bring her up here and give her what is technically a third lease on life, because before me, she was with a family outside of Abilene, I want to say. And after the wife died, they stopped traveling, and she sat in a barn for like 30 years. And I purchased her and renovated her. And you can find her on Myrtle the Vagabond Turtle on Instagram. But it was a whole lot of fun to do, and I loved living in her. It just is really difficult to find a place to live in a trailer. I wrote a whole book about this, and oh, I hate when they get stuck. So during 2020, I guess, is when it really got bad, where you had corporate entities like Blackstone purchasing RV communities. And so what they were doing was they were implementing totally legal HOV strategies to push people out and to, rack the rents up really, really high. So they created these things called like the 10-year rule, which had kind of been in existence, but not really utilized very much. And they just started skyrocketing in all these corporately owned RV parks. So your RV could not be more than 10 years old. So this idea of traveling around in a cool vintage trailer is great in theory, but the practice of it actually is incredibly unsustainable, because there's so few people, places, and parks that will let you park there. So in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm going to purchase this lot at this park, and it's supposed to be an artist colony. And I don't know. I don't want to get sued or anything, but I would say, when you find out that the man behind it spent 11 years in prison for embezzlement and business fraud, investment fraud. And then like nothing's adding up and all the promises are broken. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna buy here. So she's in a little bit of limbo. She's safe. And I'm very grateful to friends who helped me find a place for her to wait. She's in the waiting zone. She's in the purgatory. But anyway, she costs $200 a month right now. Tip out bank. Okay. So this is where I've been very frustrated in cash stuffing. I love the restaurant that I'm working at. I'm incredibly happy here, but there's always a con. There's always a con to everything. And the con to this place is that I have to pony up my tip out with money that I've made previously towards money that I haven't made yet. So what does that even mean? At other restaurants that I've been in, we just got the cash daily. It was credit card or cash. It didn't really matter. They would tip us out of the till every day. And then whatever we owed the tip out to the bar, to the hostess, to the server assistants, all of that was paid for out of the money they were giving us. So it was a quid pro quo. There was nothing owed, nothing gained, right? You got it all at the same time. Where I'm at now, they pay us for cash tips. Well, you keep your cash tips if it exceeds the credit card tips. If your credit card tips are more, yeah, it's so convoluted. So basically, so much of the time they owe me money out of credit card tips. So I get a check the following Friday. And it's like a business check. It's not like direct deposit. So anything over a certain amount, I have to wait like an additional 3 days for. And it's just like, oh, it's getting really hard to get paid. But like I said, there's a con to every business. There's no perfect job. But what I have to do is I have to pony up my tip out bank, because though I may not get any money that day, it may be money that's owed to me. I still owe. I still have to pay the server assistants. I still have to pay the bar. So I have to go in with between, $75 to $100 in my bank every day. But then that gets depleted almost every day I work. So I'm constantly having to add cash to my tip out bank, though I'm only getting paid once, and then I have to wait for that money a lot of times. So it actually has caused a little bit of havoc on my cash stuffing, because I keep having to rob Peter to pay Paul, I guess. I keep having to borrow from my envelopes to work at my job. So what I did was I started this new binder. I didn't even talk about this binder the other day. This is one that I got from NorthStar, and I have them linked in my comments. But and it's just absolutely gorgeous. I love a good lizard print, and obviously blush is my color. Blush and teal and rose gold. It's like my color combo. But I started this, and it's just like things that I need to get all the time. Everyday life. So I'm not keeping this in the safe. I'm keeping this out so I can just grab it. So laundry money. I have a list of priorities of things. One of the main priorities is getting Myrtle back here. One of the main priorities is getting a moving van to get my stuff here. So those two things take precedent over getting a washing machine. They just do. So at this moment, I go to the laundromat. I do a $5 challenge and a $1 challenge because, why not? When they're around and you spend them and you don't even realize it, why not hold on to them and make it fun? And then obviously groceries, because we all need to eat. Gas, vroom, make it fun. I do need to get gas today too. So tip out bank. All right, let's figure out. So right now I figure that I'm gonna give it $125. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, and 5. Put that in the tip out bank, and hopefully, the goal is that you make cash that you can add to your tip out bank, so you're not constantly having to pull it out of the money you make in your check. But it doesn't always work out that way. It's very variable. Is that even a word? Very variable. Okay, alliteration. All right, prime. I need to throw that in my checking, because that's going to go through here in just a little bit. And then the buffer, and just a $20 buffer, just so I don't go over. I keep very little money in my bills checking account. I really just don't want to give the bank money to just use and borrow, whatever. It's just, you know, I would rather use it. And that particular card is the card that I use online all the time. And so it's the one that tends to get compromised. It's the one that I usually have to call for fraud and get a new one or whatever. So I just tend to put the money in that I need to spend and just keep it at a very low. But I do want to give it the buffer, you know, just so I don't go over accidentally. Sometimes when there's tax I didn't take into account, or, you know, a shipping fee I didn't know I had, something like that. So these two things, Prime Video / free shipping and buffer, are going to la bank. What else? Oil change. Yeah, everybody needs to change their oil in their car every once in a while, and today is my day. So I've got 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 90, $100 going to my oil change. Yes, it's true. It is a bit expensive, but they do a great job, and you know, you got to use the special oils and all that fun stuff. You know, just like I would in envelopes, I definitely utilize my Post-its. And I've got my pretty little paper clips. I just am very intentional about every dollar. A zero-based budget where it's like, yeah, you don't want to put that in your wallet and then it's like, what was that? What was that for? And then you accidentally spend it at, I don't know, Taco Bell or something. So that way I know where everything is going, and I keep a very detailed account, because I know myself and I will screw myself over. It's never a good thing, but it's something I recognize. So that way, when I sit down and do my budget, I know what's happening. All right. That is what I've got. It's amazing how quickly $940 just poof disappears. And I really didn't get to spend it on anything fun, but that's okay, because I did have some fun things that I purchased in the last couple of weeks. And I try not to feel guilty about it because I've worked really hard. So you got to treat yourself every once in a while. And this week I also purchased an alarm system. So that's on its way, but I had to purchase all of the equipment, and they had a Father's Day sale. So it was on my list of things to do, and I had an envelope that I was saving for it, secretly in my dream envelope. And they hit me up, and it worked. The marketing worked, 70% off. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I purchased that. And the reason why that moved into priority is because actually, I don't know, I haven't talked about it online at all, but someone tried to kidnap me 2 weeks ago out of my front yard when I was outside with my dog. My dog has now passed away. He was very elderly. He was outside. We were sitting ducks because he was so fragile, and it was about midnight on a Saturday night, and they sped into my driveway and literally tried to kidnap me. So now I have all kinds of cameras and doorbell ringers and motion detectors, all the things on the way. So cash stuffing really has helped, because sometimes when you, hi Captain, sometimes, come here. Sometimes when you need something, you just need to dig into those envelopes, and it's wonderful to have them to dig into. Come here. Are you gonna say hi? Are you gonna be on the fringes? There we go. Y'all have a great day, and I look forward to doing more cash stuffings.